All right, nice to see everyone and happy Sunday morning. And this morning, I like to have a theme for yoga. And this morning, I thought we would focus on calm and grounded, which is what I'm looking for this morning. And hopefully that resonates with some of you. So with that, for those of you I don't know, I'm Jessie Mahoney, and I teach these mindful yoga classes most weekends, Saturdays at 9, but this weekend I'm doing an extra one on Sunday at 9. I actually will have a little hiatus for the next month. I'm having surgery tomorrow, which is why I'm teaching an extra class today. And then I will be back with some gentle yoga and then mindful yoga probably in 6 weeks. In the meantime, there are a lot of recordings on YouTube, so you can check out those. And the one from yesterday and today, I will have there shortly. So with that, find your sit bones, your ischial spines, and move the flesh of your seat out of the way. So those ischial spines connect right down into the earth underneath you. If you have something to sit up on, a block or a bolster or a blanket, having your hips above your knees is very helpful in feeling grounded and centered and calm and still. As you find those ischial spines, tilt that pelvis anteriorly, engage your belly, and align your spine all the way up through the crown of your head. Taking in a huge inhale in through your nose and out through your mouth. And just notice how one breath brings your mind and body into the same spot. If it feels good to you, flip your palms over so they're facing upright on your thighs. And take in another big deep breath in through your nose, pouring it into every nook and cranny of the lungs, bathing them with oxygen and energy. And exhale, releasing and letting go. Letting go of whatever heaviness you're carrying, whatever stress and anxiety you're carrying, allowing yourself to come into stillness, calm, and grounded. Breathing in through your nose once again, and out through your mouth, enjoying the breath. Something that's always available to us, but that we often ignore. Once again, breathe in through your nose. Notice your whole body filling with oxygen and energy on the inhale. And a long, smooth, even exhale, letting it out. And pause for a moment in stillness. Notice the sit bones, notice your pelvis, notice your spine aligned and tall, reaching the crown of your head towards the sky. With intention, take an inhale and drop your shoulders. Notice the drop. And bring a hand to heart and another hand atop. This hand to heart, one of my favorite actions. It helps with self-compassion, but it also helps with grounding. It brings your heart and mind and body into the same spot. Noticing that bottom hand on the heart space, heel of the hand, pressing into that heart space. And the top hand, skin to skin atop, pressing in gently. Connecting with the fact that you have a heart, that it has feelings, and taking a moment to listen to what's going on there. Grounding yourself with your heart. Your heart is your center and your core. We often talk about seeing with your heart or being led by your heart. And taking a moment to notice what that might look like today. Coming back to the breath. And as you breathe in and out, hands to heart, notice your chest rise and fall. Slowing down enough to notice. Breathing in through your nose, chest rising, belly filling. And out through your mouth, chest falling, belly flattening. One more big breath here, just enjoying the inhale and the exhale, simple as that. And we'll bring our hands to heart center, rubbing them together, creating a little heat if that feels good. If you're in a too hot spot, don't do that. Bring your thumbs into your sternum and your finger pads reaching towards the sky, pressing into the sternum and connecting with your heart space here. Another way to notice this sense of calm and grounding, connecting to your heart and to the earth all at the same time. And perhaps setting an intention around stillness, calm, grounded, connected, centered, whatever word calls to you. For each of us on each day, it might be a different word. And so taking a moment to notice what feels right to you today and set your intention around that. And if you're struggling to come up with an intention, it's a wish or an aspiration. It doesn't have to be serious. And you can also come back to your body to find it. Notice your ischial spines. Is there a message there? Notice your belly. Is there a message there about what you need? Notice your heart space. Is there a message there? Or even your third eye, the spot above your eyes. Is there a message there? For many of us, we're never slow enough to know what the messages are. And we were taught to ignore them for those of us in medicine. And so this is a practice of reconnecting, learning to listen again. What is that message about what you need to come back to stillness, to come back to yourself? Taking in one more inhale to seal in whatever you discovered. And then exhale, letting things go that you don't want to bring into this practice. And when you're ready, lower your hands and open your eyes. And just notice how you feel, letting whatever good feelings are there seep in and enjoy them. And we'll come back to our belly. Engage your belly, your center, connecting your sit bones down into the earth, inhaling both arms up towards the sky. You're going to take your right thumb and middle finger, grab that left wrist and reach tall, tall, tall. Lengthen both side bodies. Huge breath into every nook and cranny, every alveoli filling with oxygen. Exhale, tip towards the right, opening the whole left side body. Use your belly to protect your back as you exhale. Inhale, tug that left wrist a little more towards the right. Enjoy the left armpit and every tiny nook and cranny in the left lungs opening up. If it's available, gaze over the left shoulder, breathing out towards the left. Using your belly and its strength, coming back to center. Switch your hands, left thumb and middle finger, grab the right wrist. Initially, inhale, reach tall as you can. Right hip reaches down here, downward, right wrist reaches tall. Huge inhale. Exhale, tip to the left, using your belly to keep your back stable and your hips grounded into the earth. Huge breath in, opening every alveoli, flushing them with oxygen, engaging your whole lung volume. Exhale, let it out. Inhale, tug that left wrist to the right once again. Exhale, gaze over the right shoulder, letting go of whatever you'd like to leave here. Coming back to center, you'll release your hands, drop your shoulders. Inhale, reach tall once again. Engage that belly. Exhale, twist to the right. Left hand's gonna come to the right knee. Right hand becomes behind you. Inhale, grow your spine long and tall. We can actually grow inches in yoga. Huge inhale, stretching tall, tall, tall. And exhale, bring it out. Twist, gazing over the right shoulder if it's okay for you now. Once again, big inhale. Exhale, twist a smidge more if you have any room there. Inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, twist back to center. Inhale, reach your fingers tall. Exhale, drop your shoulders. Inhale, reach up once again. Stretching both side bodies, long, 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 hips reaching downward. Exhale, twist to the left. Use that belly. Left hand behind, right hand on the left thigh. Inhale, grow an inch. Reach the crown of your head towards the sky. Fill your lungs, every alveoli with breath. And exhale, blowing it out over that left shoulder, whatever needs to go. Releasing tension. Huge inhale. Grounding and centering. Send the breath all the way down to the ischial spines, rooting downward. And exhale, releasing whatever's getting in the way of calm, still, grounded, at peace. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, twisting back to center, and you'll bring your arms out by your sides. Wrists are flexed, palms flat, pressing them into the sidewalls. Pinch that scapula tight, tight, tight. Enjoy the tension and the tightness. And exhale, release. Make a big fist with your both hands, squeezing tight, tight, tight. Press the fist into the sidewall, pinch the scapula here. Exhale, release. And open your fingers as wide as you can, spreading them wide, equal pie shapes, every finger muscle engaged, wiggling your fingers. Pinch your scapula here with your fingers spread wide, 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 noticing little differences, subtle, significant, tiny shifts, big changes. Exhale, release. Lowering your hands towards the floor. Shrug those shoulders all the way up to your ears. Drop your occiput into the shoulders and enjoy all those sensations, squeezing as tight as you can. Exhale, let go and drop your shoulders. Palms will open towards the front. Take a minute here to breathe and notice all the tingles. Enjoy the release. Big breath in and out. Inhale your arms out and up once again. We're going to interlace the fingers, flip your palms towards the sky, do a little shimmy, slight arch back. Exhale, round forward, sucking your navel all the way back, coming into a seated cat and opening up the whole back rib cage, lower back, enjoying any tight spots, welcoming the tension and sending the breath there. Inhale, reach tall, slight arch back. Exhale, rounding forward. Use your belly, use your whole spine here, enjoying the movement. Ischial spines are connected, rooting into the earth. Inhale, slight arch. Last one, rounding forward. Enjoy your navel reaching all the way back. The back body opening up fully, pressing the palms towards the front. Inhale, reaching tall once again. Lower your arms out by your sides and lower them down to the earth, shaking your arms out. If you're sitting on something, you can move it out of the way. We're going to come into a wide angle pose. Your legs will be stretched out wide, taking a moment with kindness to move that flesh of the seat out of the way. And you're going to lean forward till you feel your ischial spines connecting, rooting into the earth. So you are firmly grounded. Your upper torso is going to tilt a tiny bit to find that rootedness. Stretch your legs long. Knees should be straight. If you can't straighten your knees, then bring your feet closer together. Heels are also going to connect to the earth. You're going to engage your belly here, reaching both arms up towards the sky. Inhale and reach tall, shimmy sides, the side body. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand comes to the left knee, left hand comes behind. As your hands land, inhale and grow tall. Exhale, gaze over the left, wringing it out, using that belly. Another big inhale, grow as tall as you can. And exhale a tiny smidge more, bringing it out towards the left, letting things go, blowing them off over the shoulder. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, twist back to center. Drop your shoulders. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, twist to the left this time, to the right this time, pardon me. Left hand onto the right thigh, right hand behind you, tented like a cupcake. Notice the ischial spines grow tall. Each vertebrae atop the other, crown of the head reaching towards the sky. Exhale, turn to the right and bring it out a little more, blowing anything you'd like to let go over the right shoulder. Inhale, sending the breath all the way down through the ischial spines into the earth as you grow tall. And exhale, bring it out a tiny smidge more. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky, coming back to center. You'll drop your right hand down the right thigh, sending it down the right shin to the right ankle, and reach that left hand over the left ear, reaching towards the right foot. Bend your right elbow so your forearm, if possible, is flat on the shin. Huge breath into every nook and cranny of the left waist. Exhale, gazing over that left shoulder if you have capacity. And if you can bring your left hand a tiny bit back, try that. Huge breath in again. Every nook and cranny, stretching, breathing, filled with oxygen. And exhale, smidge farther to the left, enjoy. Sliding up the right leg, reach your right arm up towards the side. Drop your left hand to the left thigh, down the left shin. Reaching from the right hip through the right hand, reaching over the right ear. Drop your left elbow to the knee, if it reaches there. Forearm on the shin, and enjoy that right hip rib cage area. Huge breath in. Exhale, gaze over the right shoulder, blowing it out. If you can draw your right hand back a little, try that. Notice what happens. Tiny shifts, big change. Huge breath into those new pockets that open up there. Exhale, blow it out over the right shoulder. Reach both arms up towards the sky, opening your arms out, and you'll bring them to your outer thighs, drawing your legs together. Once again, move the flesh of your seat. You're going to bend your right knee, bring the sole of the right foot into the left thigh, and move the flesh out of the way. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, twist to the left, fold forward over that left leg, reach towards the left ankle, outer edge of the left foot, and you'll notice your right wrist widen. Send the breath to every nook and cranny there. And as you're here, notice the ischial spines on the earth. On the exhale, ground them in, blowing out whatever's getting in the way, distracting. Huge breath into every nook and cranny of that right rib cage. And exhale, release, fold forward a smidge more if you have room. Sliding up the left leg, you're going to bring your hands behind your right hip, lifting up your left hip. Right knee is going to come to the floor and bringing that left arm over, coming into wild thing because it's fun. Outer edge of the left foot is going to reach towards the floor. Left hand reaches all the way over the left ear. Stretching long, 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 breathing into every nook and cranny. Notice the right hand grounding downward, left foot grounding downward. Your right knee on the earth, top of the right foot. Ground downward and stretch all at the same time. Notice that stable, calm firmness on the bottom. Lower your hip, lower your hand. Coming back to center. Stretch your right leg long, even things out, move the flesh of your seat once again. Inhale, engage your belly, reach both arms up. Exhale, fold forward, just even out into an easy forward fold, relaxing. Doesn't matter where you are, just letting things even out, wiggling your toes. Slowly rise up, bend the left leg, left sole of the foot comes into the right inner thigh. Taking a moment to find your sit bones, connecting downward, finding that stillness as you sit, engage your belly, align your spine. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, twist to the right and fold forward towards the outer edge of the right ankle, left foot, right foot, wherever you land. And enjoy the left rib cage here. Left waist, breathing into everything. Three deep breaths. Bathe every alveoli with breath. Bathe every tiny muscle fiber in the left waist. Using all your resources here. We have a lot of spots in our lower lungs that we don't use and ignore. We have a lot of muscles to support us in the waist and chest area that we also don't pay attention to. Paying attention to all of them this morning. Slowly slide up the right leg. You're going to bring your left hand behind the left hip. And you will lift the hip up, reaching the right arm over, coming into wild thing and enjoying the stretch, reaching long, outer edge of the right foot, grounding into the earth. Open up the whole right side body, wiggle your right fingers. Have a little fun with it. Notice how stable you are. Come to stillness here in this stretch. No hurry to move on. Allow yourself to enjoy it and notice every part of your body that's working to hold you here. Lots of strong muscles. We always look at what's not strong, but notice what's strong here. Lowering your hips towards the floor, hand towards the floor. You'll stretch your legs long in front, smooth the flesh of your seat. And this time, find your ischial spines, hinge at the waist, and fold forward. Your back of your legs will wake up here. Your back is flat. Elbows will be closer to your knees. Flex your toes towards your knees and enjoy the sensations in the back of the legs. Point your toes and notice what happens. Enjoy the shins. Flex your ankles, spread your toes wide. Slide forward a smidge more if you have a wee bit more room, and enjoy. Notice if you're holding your breath. Hinge forward another centimeter, inch, with kindness. If it's not kind, don't keep moving forward. Slowly slide up your shins to your thighs. We're gonna sweep our feet around, coming into hands and knees here. Knees directly under your hips, hands directly under your shoulders. Inhale for a cow pose. Sit bones will reach up, crown of the head reaches forward, and send some love to the front of the belly, heart shining forward. Exhale, round, stack your navel all the way up, drop your head and neck, enjoy it. Notice your knees and your hands, grounded, calm, stable, and still. Inhale, round, enjoy that front belly, the cow pose, sit bones reach towards the sky, heart shines forward. Moving slowly and noticing every muscle fiber stretching. Notice the breath pouring into the front of the chest. Exhale, round, and suck the navel all the way up. Enjoy the stretch in the back body. Coming back to center, right leg is going to stretch long behind you on your toes. Inhale, raise the right leg up to hip height. Find your balance. Your hips are parallel to the floor. Exhale. Inhale the left arm long in front, stretching in either direction. Finding your balance. Rooting downward, noticing how stable you are despite two extremities in the air. You can wiggle your fingers, point your toes, flex your toes. Huge inhale. Exhale, bring your elbow to knee underneath you. Inhale, stretch long. Heel presses towards the back wall. Exhale, bring knee to elbow. Stretch long. And one more. Enjoy the front of your belly here as you do this, and the muscles in your glute as you stretch long once again. Lower your left hand towards the floor. Lower your right toes. Drop your right heel. Reach the right arm up. Coming into gate pose. Exhale the right arm over the right ear. If it's fun and accessible, you can lift your right leg up, coming into a balanced pose. If it's not, just leave it on the floor. Have a little fun with the wiggles and the wobbles. Press the heel towards the back wall. Lower your foot, lower your hand. We'll come back to hands and knees. Find your center. Taking a minute to be kind to your wrists. All 10 fingers flat on the floor, equal pie shape. Stretch your left leg long. Inhale, lift it up to hip height, a little below hip height. Your hips should be flat. Take a moment to make sure your back is not in a funky position and you're even. If it works for you, raise your right arm, left leg up, right arm. Finding your balance, finding your steadiness, finding your grounding through hand and knee and foot. Stretching long, wiggling fingers. Huge inhale, stretching long. Exhale, elbow to knee underneath you. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach as long as you can. Last one, elbow to knee. And stretch long and enjoy it. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Lowering your right hand. Left toes drop to the floor. Drop your left heel to the floor, reach that left arm up, coming into gate pose on this side. Left arm reaches over the left ear. Inhale if it's fun and accessible, lift the left leg, come into balance pose, wiggle your fingers. Notice everything that's working here to keep you stable in a rather unstable position. Reaching your arm up towards the sky, coming back to hands and knees. We're gonna sink our hips back, come into child's pose. Your hips will come to your heels and your fingers will reach as far forward as possible. In this child's pose, stretch your fingers as far forward. Keep moving them. Notice the stretch in your armpits and lower your third eye to the floor. Enjoy it. Send the breath into every tiny crevice in the lungs. Bathing it, sending the stress and swirl and noise out with the out breath. Letting your third eye, your forehead, connect downward into the earth, finding the grounding here in child's pose. Top of the feet, knees, elbows, forearms, palms, and the third eye. Huge breath in. Pour it all the way down into your pelvis and your groin, all the way. And on the exhale, sink in a little more. Hips will reach towards your heels. Knees might open a little farther. And enjoy this full stretch here. One more big breath. And we'll come back to hands and knees. Walk your hands forward a smidge, curl your toes, and reach your hips up towards the sky. Coming into downward dog. Let your head reach towards the floor. Walk the dog. Do whatever feels good here. Find your palms and lower your forehead towards the floor. Hips are going to reach towards the sky. There are the apex. Lifting up onto your tiptoes as high as you can. Press into the hands, reach your hips back even more. Slowly lower your heels and enjoy the energetic shifts in the back of your legs, allowing them, don't resist. Let things run up and down the backs of the legs, moving, shifting. Notice when you relax into it, how much more calm and still you feel. Another big breath, pouring it into the heart space, into the space behind the heart that's open here. As your heart is hanging against gravity, flowing. With intention, let it fill fully here in this different position. Exhale, release. Root your palms downward, both of them, all 10 fingers engaged, right ball of the foot engaged. Engage your belly. Inhale your left leg up to hip height. Press the heel into the back wall. Exhale as you press the heel back. Another big inhale. On the exhale, bring that left foot between your hands. We're going to come into Anjaneyasana or a low lunge. Begin by coming up just to hands to knees and be really kind to that back knee. Notice if you're on the patella and get off of it. Make sure your knee is not unhappy. You have a blanket under there if you need it. And bring your hand to the top of that left thigh. Wiggle your left toes forward. Tuck your left hip back and the right hip forward and send some love into that right hip. Huge breath into the right hip flexor here. As you exhale, sink in a little bit more, softening, releasing. Inhale right down into that right hip flexor. Pouring the breath there. And exhale, sink in and soften a wee bit. Notice where you're holding tension. Send your attention there and soften with the next breath. Your tension might be in your throat, might be in your belly, might be in your chest, sinking in. Draw that attention to the right hip flexor. What does it need to soften and let go? When we let go, it's much more easy to find stillness, calm, and grounding. Lower your hands towards the floor on either side. You'll straight that left knee, raise your left toes up, and enjoy the left hamstring. Bring your toes towards your knees in whatever way they can. If you have blocks, you can use them. If you don't, just raise your left toe. You can even wiggle your toes and notice what that does to the left hamstring. Don't overdo it here. Breathing into the back of the leg with kindness. Allowing it to wake up, wiggling the toes. Walking your hands forward, lower the left foot to the floor. Curl the back toes. You walk your hands forward a little bit more. Right palm's gonna come to the earth. Spread your fingers, twist to the left. Left arm's reaching towards the sky. They call this an easy twist, but it's not that easy. Breathe all the way down through the right hand into the earth. all the way up through the left hand towards the sky. Send some love to the left hip. And don't hold your breath. Straighten that front knee, coming into a long triangle. And bend it. Inhale, straight that left knee. This is called a revolve triangle. Bend your left knee, coming into easy twist. Once more, straight that left knee. Notice if you can't go too far, that's fine. And bend it. Lower your left hand to the outside of the left foot, coming up onto your fist. Up your back foot forward, coming into a pyramid pose. If you have blocks, use them here for those of you that like blocks for pyramid. The hook actually allows more stretch. Tuck your left hip back and your right hip forward. Send the back breath to the back of the left hamstring. Shifting your weight forward into your toes. Back, heels flat. Notice what happens. Lift up those front toes. Small shifts, big change in the back of the leg. Coming back to flat feet. Inhale, lift up for a half lift. Your back is flat, front of the head reaches forward. Exhale, fold forward, drop your head and neck and release. 3 breaths here into any pockets of tightness that need some oxygen, kindness, and softening. Notice we hold and grip in so many places. Invite the softening. And as you soften the back hamstring, notice your toes, soles of the feet, hands on the floor. Notice what's grounded, safe, strong, still. Last big breath of love and kindness into the back of that left leg, thanking it for all the work it does, so much work. You'll walk your hands forward a smidge, bring that back foot up to meet the front, coming into a forward fold. Release both hands, reclassify your sacrum, and allow your hands to fall forward, coming into a shoulder stretch. You may need to widen your feet, bend your knees, and allow your head and neck to release. This is a big release. Generously sink into the knees. They can bend, and make room for your belly if there's a belly that needs to fit between your legs without judgment. Allow your hands to fall another couple inches forward if you have room. Sending the breath into the shoulders, the scapula. We have so much tension there. Straighten your right knee. Keep your left leg bent and twist gently to the left. Gaze to the left. Enjoy that tiny little difference. Bend your right knee, straighten your left and gaze to the left and enjoy that. Come back to center, bending both knees generously and allow your hands to fall forward a little more. Enjoy that release. Bringing hands back to sacrum, let them run down your legs and slowly engage your belly and roll up inch by inch by inch. Your head will be the last to rise, going slow. If you're dizzy, go even slower until you arrive standing. And take a moment to arrive in mountain pose. One of the most grounded poses. Noticing the soles of your feet. Lifting up all 10 toes and lowering them down, rooting them into the earth. Engage your knees, your thighs, your belly, your spine, all the way up through the crown of your head. Taking in a big breath, pouring it into every nook and cranny of the chest. Exhale, release and soften, and allow yourself to ground into mountain pose. Feels amazing. No rush. Just enjoy. Fingers light, toes light. Noticing the stillness here. Noticing the quiet of the mind, quiet of the body. Breathing into that heart space fully, filling every nook and cranny, every alveoli with breath. Notice those ribs spreading naturally. Exhale, release, letting the breath go with ease. One more easeful, large, refreshing breath into every smidge of the lungs. And exhale, release. Bring that hand to heart and the other hand to top. Checking in with that heart space, sending yourself some kindness, compassion for all the things, for whatever else is going on in your life. For any parts of you that still feel swirly or ungrounded or frustrated or overwhelmed, sending this kindness through the hands into the heart space, releasing some oxytocin as you do and enjoying it, knowing that physiologically that's what happens here. And it should feel good. That top hand, atop the bottom hand, there are studies that show that decreases the cortisol in your saliva. So I like to envision that, like lessening the stress, just by rubbing this top hand atop the bottom hand, and then the heel of the hand into the heart space. Acknowledging your humanity and whatever else might be going on. Sending yourself some love and appreciation. Huge breath into the back side of the hands here, the palmar surface. Notice your chest rise and fall on the exhale. Lowering your hands down by your sides, we'll inhale them out and up, bringing the palms together, slight arch back, and fold forward, forward, fold. Inhale for a half lift, your back is flat, crown of the head reaches forward, and the heart is shining forward. Exhale, lower down into a forward fold. Inhale once again for a half lift. Enjoying it a little more this time. Crown of the head reaches forward, heart reaches forward, rear end sticking back. Exhale, forward fold. You'll put your palms on the earth, spread your fingers wide, step your feet back to plank. And find your groundedness, stability here. Fingers spread wide, palms flat, toes connecting to the earth, belly engaged fully. You might notice a little shaking. Notice everything working, waking up, working in concert, strong. Huge breath into any pocket that's shaking. Exhale, let it out. Drop your heels to the left, reach your right arm up, coming into side plank if this works for you. If it doesn't, you can stay there, or you can bend the left knee and come into a side plank that way. Notice any shaking. If you want to reach that right arm over the right ear, if that's fun, enjoy it. Whole right side body opening up. Coming back to plank, take a moment to find your groundedness, your center. That moment, that spot of balance and strength. And when you're ready, drop your heels to the right, reach your left arm up towards the sky, coming into side plank. If you want to drop that left arm over the left ear, reaching long. Notice your hips. If they're sinking, lift that left hip up towards the sky. And be kind about the shaking. It means things are working, taking good care of you. It's not a problem. They're growing stronger. Lowering the left hand, coming back to plank. You'll tip your weight forward onto your tippy toes, bend your knees, untap your toes. Elbows are going to come into your waist. Slowly lower down chaturanga towards the earth. Let your forehead land on the earth and pause for a moment. Weight is out of your hands. Huge breath in and out. Inhale for low cobra. Heart is shining forward, weight is out of your hands, lower back engaged. Exhale, lower down. Inhale for low cobra once again, engaging the back body, lifting up, heart is shining forward. Exhale, lower down. Curl your toes and press up the downward dog. And pause here, taking care to notice what part of your body needs attention. You need to walk the dog, press your hips up. Notice what needs releasing, what's tight. And when you're ready, come back to that grounded, calm stillness. And come back to the breath. Noticing that the breath is part of the grounded stillness. Eyes closed if they're open, and allow your body to just quiet for a moment. Perhaps doing a bit of a body scan, noticing any tightness, sending the breath to release and coming back to stillness. Take a minute to be kind to your wrists, flatten your palms, left Well, the foot's gonna ground into the earth, engage your belly, raise your right leg towards the sky, press the heel into the back wall. Everything engaged. Exhale, bring that right foot between your hands. We'll come into Anjaneyasana, low lunge on this side. Taking a minute to set yourself up, be kind, adjust whatever needs adjusting. Some days we need more adjusting than others. Right hands on the right thigh, wiggle the right toes forward, scooch that back knee back to be really kind to the knee. If it needs a blanket, grab it. And when your hands are resting on the right thigh, they're not dumping into it, they're just there to help you balance. Inhale, and exhale, sink into that left hip flexor. Use your breath here, big breath in. Exhale, sink, release, soften, and let go of the tightness, the chatter, what you're holding and gripping there. With intention, send the breath there to soften. And on the exhale, soften and release, letting go with intention. Frustration, anger, resentment, whatever it might be, we carry almost all of that in our hip flexors. Grief, you don't have to let it all go, but soften it so you have more room, space to breathe, and that you can feel grounded and safe. We can carry hard things, that's the duality of yoga, but they don't have to take over, good and bad, all at the same time. One more breath, pouring it into that left hip flexor, all the way down into the left knee. Exhale, sink in a smidge more. When you're ready, lower your hands to the floor on either side of the right knee. Straight that right knee, right toes will come towards the right knee. And send the breath into the back of that right leg. You can wiggle your toes, point them, flex the ankle. Inhale and lifting up a smidge. Exhale, fold forward a little more, sending the breath to the back of the right hamstring. With kindness, softening, noticing all the energetic shifts. Let them happen. And notice if you're holding your breath. Use the breath to find stillness, to find the earth underneath you, to find what's centering, physically, emotionally, all the things. And if your mind is spinning, invite it to relax and slow down still a little more. I like to wiggle my toes and let things go through the toes. We'll walk our hands forward, curl the back toes under, coming into a high lunge. Left fingers will spread wide, palm on the floor, twist to the right, coming into that easy twist. That's not easy. Back knee is straight, back heel's off the earth. Left hand grounds into the earth, stable, strong. Right arm reaching towards the sky. If you have room, gaze up towards the right hand. Straight that front knee, coming into a long triangle. It's a revolved triangle. Bend it. Inhale, straight. And exhale, bend. Just notice the sensations here. Don't overdo it. Inhale, straight. And exhale, bend. You'll lower your right hand to the outside of the right foot. Hop the back foot forward. Coming into pyramid pose. Tuck your back hip back, left hip forward. Send the breath to the back of the right leg. Play with your weight here. Shift forward. Flat feet. Right toes lift up and lower down. If it would feel good, inhale for a half lift. Back is flat, spine forward, crown of the head reaches forward, heart shines forward. And exhale, lower down, release your head and neck. And send the breath anywhere it's needed to soften. Huge breath in and out. Walk your hands forward a smidge. Walk that back foot forward to meet the front foot. Coming into a forward fold. Find the soles of your feet and rooting them downwards. Using your toes like roots. And bring your hands to either elbow and sink in. Drop your head and neck. releasing. Send the breath to any remaining tight pockets in the back of the legs. You can sway side to side, releasing any tightness, anything you're gripping or holding. With intention, letting it go. And as you're here, notice the soles of your feet. Find your center, rooting downward, enjoying. Noticing that you know exactly where that center is when you take the time to pause and find it. And notice that you know what it feels like when you find it. Something to come back to in a busy day where you feel like everything is swirling. Release your hands, engage your belly and roll up. Inch by inch, by inch by inch, your head will be the last to rise. And when you arrive, take a few moments to enjoy, notice, adjust. Look at your fingers and your toes. And we'll transition slowly actually down to lying down already. So taking your time, there's no rush. You're going to arrive on the earth on your mat. Your knees can be bent. Find your sacrum on the earth. Notice the soles of the feet on the earth, the palms on the earth, scapula on the earth. And come back to the breath and the stillness here. Big breaths, bathing every nook and cranny and tired muscle with the oxygen. Bring your heels as close to your rear end as you can, pressing into your palms and the forearms. Inhale and lift your hips up, coming into a bridge pose. Draw your knees together, hips will reach towards the sky. Shimmy your shoulders underneath you and reach those hips as high as you can. Knees energetically connect. Palms are facing the floor, but not pressing into it too much. Inhale and lift those hips as high as you can. If you can clasp your hands underneath, do that. Lift the hips even higher and keep breathing. Notice your heart up, relaxed, lifting up, light heart. Send the breath there. Notice the heart fill on the backside. Notice the softness of the heart at the end of the yoga. That tightness in the heart. Oh, I'm melted. Can you send the breath and melt it even more? Inviting the heart to fill fully. We know that a heart that fills fully supports you better. Think about restrictive heart disease. Inhale your hips up higher and higher. Knees energetically connect. Shimmy those shoulders underneath you. The back body very much awake here. Last breath. Untuck your shoulders and slowly lower your hips inch by inch by inch by inch until they land on the floor. And pause and just notice how you feel. Untuck your shoulders. Draw your right leg knee into your chest. You're going to wrap your fingers, clasp your fingers onto the right shin. Hug that knee in towards you. Extends the left leg long. Inhale, draw the right knee in towards you. Exhale, drop it into the right hip laterally and enjoy it. Inhale, hug it in tight. And exhale, drop it into the right hip. Enjoy it. Bring your hands to the back of the right thigh. Straight that right leg. Reach your heel towards the sky, toes towards your nose, and press your hamstring into your hands. Point the right toe. And flex it towards your knee or your nose. Press the hamstring into your hands. You'll notice some shaking. Point the toe once again, flossing the nerves in the back of the legs, enjoying the shin stretch. Flex your toes towards your nose. Press your heel towards the sky, hamstring into your hands. Bend the right knee. Release the back of the thigh and stretch the right leg alongside the left and just notice the difference. Huge breath in and out. Bend both knees once again. Hug the left knee in towards you. Fingers clasped around the left shin, hugging it in tight, tight, tight. Straight your right leg long. Huge inhale, hug it in tight. Exhale, allow to drop into the hip laterally. Inhale, hug it tight, tight, tight. Exhale, let it sink laterally. Bring your hands to the back of the left thigh, hamstring. Toes towards your nose, heels towards the sky. Press the hamstring into both hands. Point your toe. Notice the nerve flossing. It doesn't necessarily feel good, but it feels good in the end. Flex your toe towards your knee and your nose. Press that hamstring into your hands. Point your toe. Flex your toes towards you, heels reaching towards the sky. Bend the knee. And lower the leg alongside the right. And notice how you feel. Readjust your sacrum, shoulders, everything that needs adjusting. You're going to bend your knees once again. Bring your heels towards you. Take your right ankle, place it atop the left knee. Thread your hands behind the left thigh and hug it in towards you if you have room. We're coming into figure 4 if you have room for that. If you don't, keep your left foot on the earth. You'll press your right elbow into the right knee as you hug the left hamstring towards you. Some of you will have a little more room to bring your hands to the shin. Send the breath into that right outer hip. Notice if you're holding your breath and intentionally soften into that right hip. Release the back of the left hamstring. Lower the left foot to the floor. You're going to raise your arms over you into an easy cactus shape. If it's okay if your shoulders, or a T, or they can stay by your side if it's not. Drop the right sole of the foot to the left. You're coming into a figure 4 twist. The left knee is going to come to the floor. Outer edge of the left thigh is going to come to the floor, and you'll have a lovely stretch in the right hip, right waist. If it feels good to you, you can gaze to the right. Two more breaths here. Notice your heart slowing. Noticing how connected you feel to your body, to the earth beneath. Bring your gaze back to center and knees back to center. Uncross the right foot, bringing both feet to the floor. Reorganize your hips so your sacrum is flat to the floor. Left ankle is going to come to the right knee. Bring your arms behind the right thigh and you'll hug your leg in towards you. Flex your ankles to protect your knee. Left elbow is going to press into the left knee. Breathing into that left hip. Bathing it with the breath. Letting go of any tightness there, any gripping, any holding. Allowing yourself to come to stillness and settled. Two more breaths here. You can hug that right leg in a little more if you have a little more space. Release the back of the right leg or the right foot. Arms will come up over you in that cactus shape or a T, whatever is okay for your shoulders. Inhale, drop the left sole of the foot to the right knee and outer right leg comes to the floor. Breathing into the left hip, left waist, coming into a figure 4 twist. Continue to breathe. Notice what feels good here. And if it would feel good, gaze to the left. Bring your gaze back to center and your knees back to center. Uncross your left foot, lowering it to the floor. Even out your sacrum and your hips. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees apart, coming into reclining butterfly. If you need to put blocks or pillows under your knees, do that. Left hand to heart, right hand to belly. Connecting with the earth beneath you. Connecting to your heart under your left hand. Connecting to your belly under your right hand. Checking in. Noticing how you feel. Perhaps what's different than when you began. You have more stillness, more presence, more groundedness, calm, centered. What is it that you feel? Notice your chest rise and fall with the breath. Bring your hands to the outer edge of your thighs. Draw your knees together. And you'll extend your legs long, coming into Shavasana. Allow your toes to fall to the outer edge of the mat. Palms open towards the sky if that feels okay, about 6 inches from your waist. If it doesn't feel okay, flip your palms down. If you need a bolster or a blanket or a pillow under your knees, grab that. Take in a big deep breath. And on the exhale, allow the earth to hold you. Allow yourself to sink in, settle, and surrender. Let go of control of the breath. And drop into relaxation, stillness. Thoughts float in, let them float out. Something grips, wiggle it and release. And allow yourself to sink into deep relaxation for a few minutes. If you want to stay in Shavasana, it's one of the beautiful things about Zoom yoga. Stay as long as you like. For those of you ready to come out, gently deepen your breath. slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bringing that consciousness back into your body. Take a big inhale and stretch your arms long above, toes long in front, filling yourself up with breath, every nook and cranny, as if you're waking up from a long winter's nap. And exhale, let it go. Draw your knees in towards you and roll over to one side. Pause for a moment. Notice how you feel. Hopefully a little more calm, a little more centered, a little more grounded, and a little more still. Allowing yourself to enjoy that sense of peace and quiet. And when you're ready, press into your hands and come up to a comfortable seat where we began. When you arrive, drop right back into that Shavasana feeling, closing your eyes, noticing your sit bones on the earth. Tilting your pelvis and aligning your spine, reach the crown of your head towards the sky. Take an inhale. Exhale, drop your shoulders with intention. Bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. Checking in with that heart space. Checking in with yourself. Reconnecting to what you need. In the stillness, it's much more easy to figure out. May you all find more of what you need this week. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.